What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. I actually wanted to do kind of a deep dive with you all in regarding to the current state of TikTok right now, because as of the 10th, they are starting to hear, I believe, hear the case. So we're right around that situation where it's kind of a do or die situation for TikTok. So I want to give you all kind of an update. I know some of you all use TikTok. There's going to be certain people that's going to want to know what's going on. I'm kind of on and off of TikTok. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been on TikTok in a little bit. So we'll see. But let's just go through this article and we'll have some conversations about it on the other side. So let's go through the title. We can get past the ads. So when is TikTok ban taking place? Inside Supreme Court plans, and this was done a day ago. So this is recent. Millions of U.S. TikTok users could soon see themselves unable to use the popular content creation app if the Supreme Court rules to ban its operations. The battle over TikTok has been going on for years, with arguments from both sides over whether China would sell off its U.S. operations and simply shut them down itself to the U.S., passing a law stating a ban would go into effect. And as Americans remain divided on the issue, its fate has hung in the balance. Now the Supreme Court is starting to hear arguments in the TikTok versus Merrick Garland, which will see the company arguing a law by the Biden administration that bans the app is unconstitutional. So basically, they're going the freedom of speech route. While the Justice Department argues that it poses national security risks as it can be used by foreign adversaries to manipulate or gather data on Americans. At the end of the case, the Supreme Court ruling could see Americans losing access to a favorite app. The law passed by Congress and signed by President Biden set a January 19th. Okay, so we're literally 7 days out. We are literally a week out. Deadline for TikTok's China-based owner ByteDance to sell off its U.S. operation, or the app would be banned nationwide. While the court could delay the start date of the law to give the justices time to deliberate and reach a decision, the overall outcome would depend on how they rule. If the court sides with the federal appeals court that upheld the Biden law, then the ban would go into effect and the process of shutting down TikTok would begin. If the justices strike the law down, it's unconstitutional, the deadline disappears, and the app will continue to be available to users with no disruption. Concerns about TikTok revolve around it being owned by a Chinese based company, meaning the data and opinions of U.S. citizens could be covertly manipulated by Beijing. President elect Donald Trump has also entered the fray of the legal battle, calling on the Supreme Court justices to delay a ruling until he enters office in January 20 so he can help negotiate a solution. In the meantime, users who are fearful of losing access to the app have also taken to coming up with their own solutions to the issue. While some are considering using VPNs or virtual private networks in effort to get around the potential ban, others have called on their fellow creators to double down on using competing services like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. Get all, so my thing is, the primary app I use as far as content creation, as far as a consumer and a content creator, is YouTube. That's the primary one I have. I would say secondarily, I would probably say Facebook as far as a consumer. Because I probably use Facebook more than Instagram. I mean, I haven't been, and this is recent. So my thoughts on this, because there's a couple of different industries and niches that I deal in, and in these niches this is kind of a big deal because a lot of people kind of came into the niche, came into the game via TikTok. Even on the manosphere stuff, I mean, the manosphere has a strong organic TikTok base that I don't want to say he's been able to thrive, not the way we do it here, but it's definitely a conversation that's had on TikTok, and a lot of those folks do not have the same kind of pull on YouTube. It is different. So it's interesting from on a political side when it comes to content creators and how big they are. Just because you're big on YouTube doesn't mean, I mean, big on TikTok doesn't mean you're gonna be big on YouTube, and the truth is vice versa. Angry Man, for example, has I think like maybe 15, 16,000, maybe 20,000 TikTok followers, but he blew up on YouTube. He went to TikTok. He didn't take his whole operation to TikTok, but I remember he created a TikTok channel and it did okay, but it didn't do what you would expect it to do. Because truth be told, a lot of people are not jumping on TikTok because people have this belief that TikTok is just for kids. That's still out there. That's still prevalent. It's just a bunch of chicks dancing. It's nothing serious on TikTok, so it's harder to get people to kind of go over there. Also, there's not like a real strong push on our end to do that. So the audiences are kind of separate. Obviously, there's crossover, but the audiences are kind of separate. So, but he blew up, with Instagram, not Instagram, with YouTube Shorts, and so at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily cross over. So if those people on TikTok, they're not gonna just come over here and the conversation. They just put out the conversation because the algorithms are slightly different. Another thing too is a lot of folks are pulling content from TikTok because stuff would be blow up on TikTok and be trending on social media, so it was an easy way to source content. So that's where the stuff kind of worked together, at least from where YouTube content creators benefited, at least in our space. So it's gonna be unfortunate. I mean, personally, my thing is you work with China to the extent that you work with China. Um, the Chinese manipulation thing, they can say that. They can say that, but okay. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see where it goes. So I'll probably do another follow up update. I don't want this video to be too long. So I'll do another follow up update in a couple of days. A follow up once Trump gets in there, because that's going to be the 20th, so the 19th would have passed. See what these cases are going on. I'm going to definitely monitor this. Hopefully, lead attorney is monitoring this as well. But let me know what you think. Are you concerned about TikTok being banned? Do you not care about TikTok being banned? Do you watch the Manosphere type content on TikTok? Do you watch other content on TikTok? If you do, who is your favorite content creator that is on TikTok? Um, how do you think the TikTok ban is going to affect the content creation, at least in our space? Do you think it'll affect it at all? As always, check in with a like, check out with a subscription, and hit that notification bell. If you got this far with it, type TikTok sucks in the comment section below so I know, and I do appreciate it. And make sure you click on those links. I got some really good stuff going. I'm trying to build up this Discord. The Patreon is in there, and there is content on the Patreon and content being put on the Patreon every other day, if not every day. Really cool stuff in there. AI photos of certain concepts, kind of like political cartoons you won't see anywhere else. You've got raw content that is way, 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 way too raw for YouTube. In fact, if you go in there, viewer discretion is advised, because y'all may feel some type of way about what I'm talking about. But I got to keep it real because that's the only thing I know how to do. I got an email list, obviously the Cash App, and the Patreon. Support Black Male Media. Your support is appreciated. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.